Hi, everybody. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. I am the face behind all of the emails that you guys have been getting for the last couple of weeks. I'm Patrick Higgins, Senior Vice President with Connect Sports, and I'm joined by my colleagues, Matt Swenson, who runs all of our sports editorial efforts and corporate communication, and Taylor Snow, who many of you that are planners have had the privilege of working with to get registered and squared away. So we're so grateful you carved out some time that we can go through the schedule and help get everybody ready for next week. Before we get started, I want to dedicate some time to introducing the members of our Connect Sports Executive Advisory Board who are helping us out today. Jessica, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Jessica Beaudry, CEO of CSTT Sports Travel. We're a third-party housing provider in the sports space.
Great. Thanks, Jessica. Tony.
Hello, everyone. Tony Lako, the Director of Lacrosse Events for Three Step Sports.
Thank you, Tony. And Rachel?
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Rachel Rogers. I'm the VP of Sports Sales for Cobb Travel and Tourism here in Atlanta, Georgia.
Excellent. And last but not least, Matt.
Hi, everyone. I'm Matt Tanagan. I'm the Director of Sports Marketing at the Fox Cities Convention and Visitors Bureau in Appleton, Wisconsin.
Awesome. Thank you. And thank you all of you for serving as panelists today. We felt it was important that as we go through this know before you go and you start touching base on a few different things, you didn't just hear the Connect perspective, but you also heard the perspective from both suppliers and planners. Everyone on this, on our panel and on our advisory board have attended Connect Sports for multiple years, many, many years. This is our 10th year that we've been doing this, and they're well familiar with the way that we approach things and with different tips and tricks and things like that on how to get the most out of the show. So before we get started, I do want to just throw something out there. We do realize there was a know before you go email that went out yesterday with directions to download the app and sign up. You will be uploaded into the app and the portal on Friday morning. So if it says your email isn't recognized or doesn't exist, don't panic. If you got that email, you do in fact exist. We do have you registered. No need to panic. We're fine-tuning a few different things with our appointments that will be released later today. And then by Friday morning at the latest, you'll be sent another email saying green light, go ahead and log in, and all of your appointments and everything like that will be uploaded into the app. So no cause for alarm, but I do know that there were a few people that had reached out asking questions about that. So I just wanted to get ahead of that. Secondarily, if you do have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. If it's anything that's specific, if they're general questions, drop in the chat. If there's anything that you need specifically that's more personal, if it's a hotel confirmation or something like that, if you have something that's just a very specific question to you, feel free to reach out to either myself or Taylor, or you can send an email to just info@connectsports.com, and we'll jump all over it this afternoon once we wrap up. All right, excellent. So by now, all of you should have received the Connect Sports schedule. It is also available online. We're not going to go through the entire program and waste everybody's time going through information that you can just easily review yourself. But instead, what we're going to do is we're going to focus on what's new this year. And so to help walk us through that, I'm going to tee it up to Rachel. Rachel, can you tell us, new this year is the NCAA Bid Cycle Summit, that we're going to be bringing in 12 members from the NCAA. They're going to come in and talk about championship events in the upcoming bid portal. But Rachel, can you kind of walk us through how that's going to work next week?
Yeah, absolutely. So next Tuesday, the NCAA Bid Cycle Summit will start with a general session at 9:15 a.m. in room 101F at the Minneapolis Convention Center. This is when the NCAA is going to share updates on the championship event bid portal, discuss what's new and different for this year, and answer any questions that you may have. Following the general session, we are going to have key members of the NCAA championship events team running 6 different breakout sessions: Division I championships, Division II championships, Division III championships, Division I men's basketball, Division I women's basketball, and Division I large championships. Each one of these breakout sessions is going to last for 25 minutes and will rotate and repeat every 30 minutes until noon. So there's plenty of opportunity for you to attend multiple breakout sessions and have some FaceTime with those NCAA people that will be in attendance.
Awesome. Thanks, Rachel. And just to kind of piggyback on that, if I know many people on this call that are registered for Connect Sports next week, you're familiar with the NCAA bid process. Part of what our partnership with the NCAA entails is trying to get them in front of new cities and new destinations that may not have hosted NCAA championship events in the past. So if you just want to dip your toe in the water and see what it actually takes to host an NCAA championship, we highly encourage you jump in on this session and be able to participate, because it may be easier to actually host something than you may realize. Not everything is going to be a men's or women's Final Four that's going to require a tremendous amount of resources. There are smaller championships that are easier to host also. So thank you, Rachel. We also do have a record number of first-time attendees joining us at Connect Sports this year, which we're very excited about. In fact, about 32% of all of our attendees, this is the first time they've attended one of our events before, or in some cases, it's the first time they've attended any sports tourism industry event. So we're excited about that. And Tony, maybe you could take a few minutes to talk a little bit about first-time attendees and some of the stuff we're doing to help welcome them this year.
I would be happy to. So the rookies are going to get some special treatment next week. So about an hour before everybody can register at 1:30 p.m., Connect's going to open registration for the first-time attendees. So you can get there a little bit early before the rush, make some new contacts, ask questions, kind of get a good head start above everybody else. And then right after that at 2 p.m., there's going to be a first-timers orientation as well, where you can all sit down. You're going to get walked through from the Connect Sports team, walk through the schedule. They're going to give you some tips and tricks of insider info to help you kind of navigate the whirlwind that'll be the next couple of days.
What's the location?
For registration, it'll be at the convention center
Okay.
in halls B and D.
Okay.
Yeah, but then at the same time, anybody member of the Connects team will all be wearing the same shirts each day, so we're easy to point out. But they'll also have all of the panelists on the call today, as well as the other members of the Connect Sports Executive Advisory Board. We'll have ribbons on their badges that will designate them as somebody that if you do have any questions, or if you're a first-time attendee, feel free to track one of them down, look for those ribbons. They're more than happy to help out and be able to help acquaint you with what we're doing on site. Cool, thanks, Tony. For everyone else, registration does open at 2:30 p.m. and the trade show floor will be open right after that. So want to encourage the sports crowd, be sure to check out the sports zone. The floor plan for the trade show floor is posted online, and it's in some of the materials we sent out. But I'm more excited about this trade show floor than I ever have been with any of our previous trade shows, because we're very heavy on experiential and activation. So a lot of our exhibitors are bringing their A games. There's going to be fun food, drink, different contests, competitions. In the sports zone specifically, we're going to actually be recreating, and you may have seen this last year if you were with us. We're going to be recreating a Connect Sports sports bar on the trade show floor. So if we don't offer a sports bar on the trade show floor, people are going to leave and they're going to go find their own. So we've recreated that experience, but there's also our friends at Visit Omaha. They're bringing in batting cages, and Visit Milwaukee's bringing a basketball court. We're going to have different competitions going on throughout that space, because we do like to drink and we do like to compete. So there's been plenty of opportunities to do that on the trade show floor. So after we wrap up the trade show, we're going to head to Meet Minneapolis, and Sports Minneapolis has put together a huge party that night. And Matt, maybe you can walk everybody through what's in store on the opening night.
Yeah, the opening night's gonna be awesome. The official theme of the opening party is "Party Like It's 1999," and everyone is encouraged to wear purple in honor of Minnesota's own Prince. The opening party is going to be huge, like Patrick said. We'll be spread over 3 venues: Orchestra Hall, PD Plaza, and one of my favorite places in all of the Twin Cities, Brits Pub. If you attended Detroit last year for Connect, kind of a similar feel where it's over multiple venues and it's an awesome way to kick off the event. Also new this year, Connect Sports will have a special red zone in PV Plaza. So as reserved for sports attendees. So if you're looking for fellow sports attendees, just look out for the red colored areas at the opening party and then throughout the week, throughout the trade show.
Thanks, man. Yeah, this Prince cover band is supposed to be pretty legendary. That's going to be performing. So make sure you have plenty of battery on your phone, and make sure you get ready to take those videos that you can use as blackmail later in the conference when everybody's drinking and dancing and a little bit more comfortable than they would be otherwise. So it's going to be a great time, and they've been planning this party for quite some time, and I'm really excited. Matt hit it on the head. If you're with us in Detroit last year, I was spread out. It was 3 different experiences, 3 different venues, very similar concept. There will be, just like every other Connect event, there are going to be a lot of other people there. We're going to have we're going to have a corporate track, an association track, a specialty track. And it's as great as it is to cross-pollinate and meet different people and be able to talk to different people in different industries. At the same time, we want to make it easy for sports people to find each other. So the color red is the theme next week. So as Matt mentioned, look for that red zone at PV Plaza, at the convention center. Just if you're part of the sports group, look for the color red, and it's going to be really easy to find your fellow sports attendees. So thank you. On day 2, we're going to start with appointments, and then once appointments wrap up, lunch is going to be on the trade show floor, served on the trade show floor. You don't have to go far, but we are also rolling out our new venue showcases this year. I'm very excited about this. There's going to be 4 different sessions. Each session is dedicated towards a specific competition venue type. So the first session is going to be diamond fields. So suppliers that have a new or recently renovated or remodeled venue that is home to baseball and softball events, those suppliers, there'll be 10 of them total. They'll be stationed throughout that space. Planners, if you're looking for baseball or softball venues, stop by, introduce yourself, see what they have to say. This is, again, specifically reserved for new and exciting venues and venues that have a new story to tell. So session 1 and session 2 will be diamond sports and field sports, linear field sports on that second day. And then day 3, the last day, will be large indoor sports, the convention centers and whatnot, and then more unique venues, and then hotels that have a large amount of space. And be able to accommodate things all in one. So I'm really excited about that. Planners, you will be receiving an email tomorrow with all of those details about the venue showcases and which sessions we recommend that you participate in. On the end of day 2, there will be an open night. We get a lot of questions about open night from people that aren't familiar with Connect and haven't been to one of our shows before. So Jessica, can you walk everybody through open night, like what it is, how to make the most of the opportunity?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a little afraid of the blackmail photos from opening reception, so I feel like Wednesday might be a little safer. So Wednesday afternoon we have appointments, and then we run right through to early evening, and then open night begins. And for me, it's always a highlight, mainly because there's so many great people to connect with. It's a great opportunity to take, if you're a CVB, you can take customers to dinner or go explore the restaurant scene in Minneapolis, maybe with some new friends. So it's always a fun time. And if you need ideas on where to go or kind of what to do on open night, I think if you hit connectmeetings.com and then click on the marketplace, there's a list of ideas and thoughts as to where you can head to. But it's always a good time.
Okay, thanks, Jessica. Yeah, you're bound to meet a lot of new people, so we highly encourage everybody to use that night to go out and network on your own terms, find your own restaurants, and just be able to go out and explore the city and make the most of those new relationships. So thanks, Jessica. On day 3, it's going to be very similar to day 2, except we will have 2 sports only sessions that day. The first is a panel with 3-Step Sports. If you're not familiar with 3-Step, thousands of events that they own and operate and execute annually. Many of the events, I coach my kids' teams. We've been not knowing this until about a month and a half ago when I started talking to Tony. I didn't realize my kids are already competing in three-step events, but I didn't recognize it because they were named something else, but they were owned and operated by Three Step. So this is the opportunity for suppliers and planners alike. Step by Tony and his colleagues at Three Step are going to be running a panel on the trade show floor. You don't have to go track down a breakout room elsewhere in the convention center. They're going to be on the main stage on the trade show floor, walking people through, introducing three-step sports to them, walk through the three steps approach, and fielding any questions that people might have about three-step, their events, and their approach to delivering a premium experience in the sports industry. So looking forward to that. And then at 2 o'clock, our partners at the Sports Equality Foundation have extended an invitation to Roscoe Mapps. He's the Chief Diversity Officer with the San Francisco Giants. He's accepted, and he'll be joining us on stage and be able to, and being not only available to answer and talk about just equality and the importance of equality in sports, but some of the unique and innovative things that the Giants are doing to make themselves leaders in that space. I'm a huge San Francisco Giants fan myself, so I'm excited about this. I know others of you, like Tony, are cheering for the Dodgers, but you don't have to be a Giants fan to want to join in on this session, because Roscoe is a huge leader in the field. Many of the things that the Giants are doing, 12, 18 months later, you start seeing other people in the league and other people in the sports industry rolling out themselves. So it'd be a great opportunity. We encourage everybody to participate in that. So again, you can familiarize yourself with the schedule by going to connectmeetings.com, selecting Connect Marketplace 2023. And anything that's new or updated will be there as well. So next up is, I'm just going through our know before you go checklist. Rachel, is there an app?
Yes, we've kind of talked about it. There is an app for the show. It is in the App Store and Google Play. If you're like me, you're just re-downloading it from year after year, or you can start that process over. But it's going to be a great tool for you to see your list of appointments, detailed FAQs, a map of the convention center, and then the education sessions. And one feature that I really love is the real-time updates throughout the entire conference. So make sure that you download that. The default login code is Connect23. So
Perfect.
do
Thanks,
that
Rachel.
before you arrive.
Thank you. And if you did jump on late, you may have gotten if you already tried to download this or upload or sign up for it, you may have gotten an error. That'll be fixed by Friday. So if you haven't had a chance to log in, you will be able to do so on Friday. Cool. Thanks, Rachel. Tony, where is all of the Connect Sports programming taking place?
Everything's at the convention center, whether it's orientation, registration, the trade show appointments, speaker series, everything's at the convention center. And it's only a nice little easy 5-minute walk from the Hyatt. You could even walk through the Skyway in wonderful Minneapolis, so you can't even get lost.
There will be Minneapolis. They're going to have a lot of volunteers out there providing directional signs to be able to point everybody in the right direction. But it's like any other city in their conference. You make that walk once, you know where to go after that. But yeah, we don't want to bring everybody together and then split everybody up across the convention center. So like Tony said, everything, with the exception of the NCAA sessions, everything's going to be taking place on the trade show floor and in the marketplace hall. So you don't have to worry about finding breakout rooms on different levels or anything like that. So perfect. Thank you, Tony. Matt, what if somebody wants to download something or a video, or if they want to show something during an appointment? Do we have Wi-Fi next week?
Yep, that shouldn't be an issue at all. Thanks to the fine folks at Visit Tampa Bay and the Tampa Bay Sports Commission, there is Wi-Fi available for everyone throughout the trade show floor.
Perfect, thank you. And all the login directions and passwords on it, they're going to be displayed prominently throughout the convention center, so it won't be an issue tracking that down. Jessica, what about transportation next week? That's the most asked question we get, is about transportation. So are we providing transportation?
Great question. No, the simple answer is no. Connect does not provide transportation. The reason being is that all the hotels are very, very short walk from the convention center and also the opening reception area as well. Tony touched on the Skyway there. I just found out that Minneapolis actually has the largest contiguous bridge system in the world. I guess it's almost 10 miles of connected Skyway walking bridges throughout the city. So it's very accessible, very walkable. Of course, there's still Uber, Lyft, cabs, whatnot as well. But for the most part, everything's very centralized this year. So transportation should not be an issue.
Perfect. Thanks, Jessica. If you're wondering how to pack, business casual is required for meetings and different things at the convention center. Cocktail casual is encouraged for receptions and happy hours. Don't forget to pack your purple for the opening night party. And if you do have any questions, go ahead and drop me in the chat and we'll get to them. I did just a quick update on appointment schedules. Those will be released today. Prior to this call, Taylor and I and our appointment team, we're just going through fine tuning a few things, just double checking for some accuracy, but those will be released via email here in the next 1 to 2 hours. I'm thinking should go out to your email. Keep in mind when you do get your appointments, just like every other conference that provides appointments, not every appointment is going to be 100% perfect and it's not going to be a great fit. But Rachel we were doing a little huddle up prior to starting this webinar. It may not look like a great fit today, but it might be something that can work tomorrow. So if you do have that one-on-one appointment, we do encourage you still participate, still engage, and just if nothing else, you're just doubling your chances of getting something done together down the road and just expanding your own number. So any questions in the chat? Not yet. Awesome. We've really tried to step up our pre-show communication this year, make sure that everybody does have all the information ahead of time. Taylor, you want to keep on track of these questions that come in? Is that all right?
Yeah, Kelly actually just asked if we have to reschedule an appointment, are we able to do that?
We are not able to reschedule appointments on site. However, what we encourage everyone to do is if you do have an appointment that you know you're going to miss or you know you're not going to be able to keep, you have one of two options. You can either find that person that you're supposed to be meeting with earlier in the show and ask if they have a hole in their schedule that you might be able to step in and be able to have that conversation, or you can track down any member of the Connect team, explain the situation, and we'll help facilitate that and see if we can't get you in front of that person earlier or afterwards if you have a conflict.
And what information are we given at each appointment?
So the appointment schedule itself will have the name, organization, booth number, and the time of the appointment. But you can get into the appointment portal that everybody logged into to request their appointments. You do still have access to go back to that and look up some additional information and do some additional homework. We encourage everybody, whether it's on the flight, on your way to Minneapolis, or if it's the morning prior, just log back in and kind of refresh yourself. If you really want to make the most out of your appointment, instead of saying for a supplier, instead of sitting down with somebody and saying, okay, Tony, tell me about 3-step lacrosse events. Tony's already provided a lot of that information when he registered. So you can look them up in the portal. You can see the next open dates. You can see exactly what they're looking for. And that helps expedite and make the most out of that 8-minute appointment. So again, great question. You can go back into the appointment portal once you do see who you have appointments with, refresh yourself, make your notes, and prepare that way.
When will we get our booth location?
That will be released at the same time as the appointment schedule is later today.
If this is our first time with the sports market, but not first time with Connect, should we check in at 1:30 to register?
Absolutely. Yep, you're more than welcome to.
Can we bring in collaterals to hand out at appointments?
You absolutely can. And I'm actually going to, Rachel, what do you suggest for suppliers that want to distribute materials during their appointments?
I've done it both ways over the years where I've brought in different pieces of collateral to give in my appointments. But for me, I kind of like the follow-up touch. So we have a conversation and then post-show, I actually send all of the collateral or whatever it is that I was going to give them at that appointment. It just really allows for one-on-one time and communication as opposed to the running around on the Connect floor. They're going to be taking back-to-back appointments, and you've got to do something to make yourself a little bit more memorable outside of just your facilities and what your community offers. So it's totally up to the individual. And I don't know, some of the suppliers have a preference as well, but I just think it may get lost if you're doing it on the trade show floor.
That's a really good point. Tony, as a planner, what's your preference for collateral during appointments? Would you rather have it be given at the same time, or what's, in a perfect scenario, what's your suggestion?
I don't mind at the same time if it's small, if it's something I can take back. Just remember that everybody's traveling. Most people are getting on an airplane. As nice as it is to get gifts, to get collateral, we all have to travel that stuff back. And unfortunately, I'll just be blunt, a lot of people end up leaving things in hotel rooms when they fly back. So just be very cognizant of, the size, what exactly you're going to bring. If you are going to bring something, make it worthwhile. If it's, a piece of paper that could be, unfortunately thrown in a trash can, like Rachel said, maybe that's best for a follow-up.
Matt, Jessica, anything you want to add?
Just for first-time attendees in general?
Yeah, just from a collateral standpoint.
I kind of echo what Tony says. I would say if we're interested in doing business together and it's a mutual fit for both parties, there will be a follow-up that takes place at some point. So I'd say the focus is on connecting, building relationship, and determining whether there is a fit for the future before getting into the nitty-gritties of here's our package, please take it home.
Yeah, and I have a one-sheeter that I like to hand out for most of my meetings with pretty pictures as a starting point for layouts of facilities that could work. But yeah, the follow-up afterwards is as critical, if not more critical, than the actual conversation itself during trade show. So whether the conversation went great and I feel like we can do business right away, or maybe it doesn't have a ton of potential immediately, but maybe down the road we can get some kind of conversation going. The follow-up is something I do for every single conversation I have during our appointments, and I think more people should probably take advantage of that.
Good point. Thanks, Matt. And then I did neglect to mention one of our goals this year is we're really trying to cut down on plastic waste at the convention center. So we do encourage everybody to bring their own water bottles with them to the convention center during the trade show hours too. All right. Any other questions? If not, then if you do have anything that does pop up or anything, what you do get your appointments, again, the best email address for the quickest attention is info@connectsports.com. That goes to a few of us and we'll be able to respond to you quicker that way. So as we wrap, thank you, Taylor. As we wrap up, I just want to go around the horn here. What is one piece of advice each of you would give to someone attending Connect Sports for the first time? Rachel?
I'm going to say step out of your comfort zone and into the red zone. As we mentioned, everyone with sports is going to be wearing red. So don't be scared to join a conversation with strangers or sit at a table with unfamiliar faces. And I think it's important to remember that networking doesn't just happen on the trade show floor. It's all the time. So take advantage of those opportunities that have been created for you to really do business outside of the trade show floor.
Great. Thanks, Rachel. Matt?
I would say the next 48 hours to me is really critical before I go to trade shows. Once I get that schedule, doing my research on the websites, the profiles that Connect provided, doing the research and figuring out where our community aligns with the mission of the rights holders that I'm meeting with. that is the most critical piece to successful meetings. So I would encourage everyone to really do their homework in the next, before they leave for Minneapolis.
Great advice. Thank you. Jessica.
My main piece of advice is aimed mostly at the women. Wear good shoes. Also prepare as much as possible for your appointments, just like Matt said, and try and see something, at least something of the host city. I've never been to Minneapolis, so I'm really excited. You never know when you're going back, so always try and take at least a little bit of time to get out and see something organically in the community that we're in. And kind of echoing what Rachel said, the appointments are just one small piece. So prepare, be diligent, get ready, but be open to opportunities outside of your 8-minute appointment slot. And we're in this together. So just build relationship and have some fun.
Great point. Thanks, Jessica. You brought up a good point about shoes. I don't know who or when it became, who came up with this idea, when it became socially acceptable to wear like dunks and tennis shoes and whatnot with suits, but I love it. So there is going to be a lot of that next week. So please wear your comfy shoes for sports. So, wear your comfy shoes, wear your Nikes, New Balance, Adidas, whatever your flavor is. Feel free to wear those next week. Thanks, Jessica. Tony, last but not least, any advice?
Yeah, 2 quick ones. One, the 8-minute speed dates fly by, so it's helpful to have in your head kind of a very brief, prepared, intro of who you are. Just think of something, how you can explain yourself quickly. They will fly by. And then 2, I know the weather outside is supposed to be beautiful, but apparently every convention center in America is legally required to have their thermostat at 40 degrees. So not only with your shoes be prepared, but bring a coat. If you're like me, especially cold-blooded, looking for a rock to sit on like an iguana, 10 hours in there could be brutal.
Love it. Thanks, Tony. We are looking forward to seeing all of you next week. If you have any questions we didn't get to, or that pop up afterwards, feel free to shoot us an email. Thank you, Matt, Rachel, Jessica, Tony. Thank you for your time today. Thank you to Taylor and Matt Swenson for helping get everything ready for next week for the red carpet to be rolled out. And we look forward to seeing everybody next week. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great rest of the day. Thanks again.
Bye.
Bye now.
That's right.